This meeting is being recorded.
Morning, everybody.
Then
How is everybody going? So, guys, we just had some technical issues this morning, and my Zoom is no longer allowing me to broadcast. There is no option to do live. No idea why. So we're going to record this. You guys get the exclusive little boutique experience of Sam and Michael, and we'll record this and we'll post it later into the group. So let me just make sure that this is recording. Carlos, your note taker's running in here as well. So is mine. Yep, all good. All right. So we have a recording that is definitely happening. So that's awesome. So welcome everybody. Thank you so much for coming along. Looks like we've got a few people here. Jason, Craig, Darren, Christine, George, Ed. That's another note taker, Craig. Sayed, hey mate. Tyler, Sukama. Hey guys. So, oh, here comes someone else. Chin. So we are very lucky this morning. So Sam from UpX, thank you so much for joining us, and Michael from Pinnacle Marketing. Now, I think most people would know who Sam is from UpX, but I'll get you guys to do a brief intro of what it is you do. So UpX, I'll let you explain this a bit more, Sam, but UpX, I guess the tagline for you guys that I always sort of know it by is the easiest way to launch and run your ads with 3 clicks, right? But that's well, you guys do a heck of a lot more than that as well now. You've definitely evolved and expanded the UpX platform a lot in the last couple of months for sure. And like, it seems like you guys are bringing out new, sorry? Oh, someone else. You've certainly evolved a lot of things, and I keep seeing updates coming out almost weekly, it seems like at the moment. So do you want to just have a bit of a run through for those who may not know you, but I think everybody will, who you are, what UpX does, and how you can help agencies?
You got it. What's up, everybody? How you guys doing? Great to see and meet with y'all. So Sam Carlson, one of the co-founders of UpX, and I think he did a great job summing it up. I mean, our whole thing is to make the complicated as simple as possible. You can, in fact, launch Facebook ads in just a couple clicks. And, you can do that with both Facebook and you can do it with Google as well. But yeah, there's a lot more to our platform. And basically, I look at it from the vantage point of any agency owner, whether you want to allow your clients to run Facebook ads as a software. That was kind of our core unique selling proposition when we went to market with high level, it plugs into high level. Or if you want to continue to do it DIY, I think Dooley does a combo of each, right? Whatever it is, we want to make it super simple for you to make money, to get outcomes. And that's the big thing is it's cool to build build software, but if I can't get outcomes for our users, then it's not really that good of a tool, right? Like at the end of the day, if it's just, hey, let me sell some features to you to sell features, that's not fun for anybody. And so we optimize for outcomes. We're really proud of that one thing. We got guys like, I guess he's over here, right there. My buddy Michael Dooley, who's been on our platform and absolutely crushing it for a very long time, which I don't take credit for really crushing it. I just like to be a little part of his story, Anyway, so yeah, that's us.
So I think what we want to do today, I'll come to you in just 2 seconds, Michael, is like help share some of your knowledge, because I think it's fair to say, Sam, that you've had a little bit of success with your agency prior to UpX as well, like running ads, which was Patient Stream, I believe was the name of that. So you've got a bit of experience, I think, understating it a little bit there, and certainly in helping agency owners as well. Like if anybody's not already in the UpX official group, we'll put links with it, but search for on Facebook the official UpX official Facebook group. You should be in there because Sam drops nuggets all the time, just like little things. It's all the little things, all the little changes that you can make and little tweaks over time to your copy, your messaging, your images, that Sam is always dropping in there, and you'll see the results from agency owners in there, and you can just get so much knowledge from Sam just by being part of that group. I know I'm in there. And then Michael, so Michael has come on here today as well as a multi-seven-figure agency owner for Pinnacle Marketing. We were lucky enough to catch up in Sydney last week, so I've known Michael for a little while through one of the Australian Facebook groups that we're both in. And last week was the first time we actually caught up face to face in Sydney at the Agency Ignite event that was run down there. So, Michael, like you use UpHex as part of your offering for your agency, right? It's not just, that's not everything you do. You've got multiple things that you use to build your platform on a high level that's very specific for car dealers. But do you want to just give us a brief background of you, what it is you do, who you serve, and then how UpHex folds in as part of your online strategy?
Yeah, cool. So full-time in the agency space since 2019. A lot of people may know a little bit of the journey and so on. We were sort of spinning our wheels for a little bit until we sort of, I suppose, just got very clear on our messaging and what we do and how we do it. And then my big thing is we were doing it pretty much all done for you. And it got to the point where it was like, we can only scale to a certain point. Like it's either one or two things. Like I'm going to have to bring on more people, which my outlay is going to be higher for media buyers and so on, or I'm going to have to charge more money to our clients to then be able to, become more profitable and to just keep building this thing. So, and then I don't even know how we became connected, but Sam and I connected a while ago, and we've become pretty good friends since. Across the other side of the world, and it's how these Zoom calls go, and so I've been using UpHex for, I want to say, maybe 2 years, maybe, and I think the first month that I really spent the time, plugged it in, and then sort of detached myself from the business to just set this one thing up to sort of get ready to scale. Like we're already sort of a decent size agency, and then I think the first month, I think we like the first day of launching it, I think we did, and actually Sam did a video on it. The first day we did 17,000, I think it was US, and I think like the next month when we did another big push, like we did an $80,000 day, like it was just like it just allows us to scale to that sort of and bring people on. But for us, we actually lead heavily into that offering as a way to bring people in to obviously show them what our full solution is. It's sort of like the tripwire to bring them through of, so for us, we help the automotive industry twofold: sales consultants and dealerships, but then also asset finance brokers as well. So for us, it's along the lines of, solve the problem. So sell an extra 10 cars in 3 clicks. So we leverage on that quite heavily, and then that brings the people through, and then obviously we can show them a full suite, which is obviously very custom now, but we lean on UpHex quite a lot with that stuff.
Yeah, that's cool. And that's that tagline. And these are all the things we talk about. It's all these little things like having your tagline. So if you sell an extra 10 cars, sorry, sell an extra 10 cars?
Sell an extra 10 cars a month in 3 clicks.
In 3 clicks. Sam, launch your ads in 3 clicks. Ours is unlimited SMS with no A2P. Like having these little taglines, these are all the little things that we need to do as agencies that make it like nice and easy and clear for people to understand what our offerings are. So Sam, I think we want to just explain to people here as well, and this is one of the stats from you guys from UpHex as such, but everybody knows about the SaaSpreneur Awards, and I think I'm right in saying this, that 30% of the people who collected their SaaSpreneur Awards are using UpHex, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, so there's a pretty good reason for using UpHex, right? Because of the ability to launch and scale and grow and not have to have massive overheads and make things easy. Because like personally, hand on heart, I cannot stand the Facebook ads platform. Like it drives me insane. It changes all the time. Every time you think you know how something's working, like it's in a different place. It's so complicated. They're Their reporting, their stats, just the way of launching ads is just a nightmare. Like I won't even go in there anymore. Like UpHex just makes that so much easier for everybody.
You know
So,
what's funny is, as a guy who's supposed to be a Facebook ads expert, I haven't been into Ads Manager for probably 2 years. It's been a long time since I've been to Ads Manager, which is kind of, I don't know if I'm supposed to say that, but I haven't. It's pretty funny.
but that's the cool thing, right? So with UpHex, you don't need to go in there. And I think the key, and this is what you do really well, is it's like you're not just providing the simpler tool to do it. So you don't need to go into Ads Manager, right? Because it's a pain. But really, and I'll let you elaborate on this, but like the key to running really good Facebook ads is that messaging and making sure that your message talks to your audience and solves a problem for them. You're not like selling features, you're selling solutions, right? So
Yeah.
you help a lot of agencies to do that, and like the results speak for themselves. If you're in the group again, you'll see all the feedback from people that are doing that, and they're running like lean systems or lean companies. You've got people that are running like one-man bands or, 2-man shows that are pulling in, $30,000,
Yeah.
$40,000 a month, right? And there's a lot of
Yeah.
those
There's a
guys
lot
out
of,
there, or
yeah, there's a
guys
lot
and
of,
gals.
yeah, there's a lot of cool models that people are able to do. I mean, I look up to Dooley in a lot of ways. That guy's a freaking entrepreneur juggernaut. He could organize sales teams and crush it with sales. Like I've never done an $80,000 day, just so you guys know. Like I think we can all earn our stripes in different ways. But before we get into this, I'd love to know, you guys, if you have been in the agency space for less than 6 months, raise your hand or put a hand emoji up or something. Okay, less than a year. You guys are all seasoned over. Okay, so six to 12 months is kind of the sweet spot where you guys are at. Okay, how many of you guys are what they say on Shark Tank? I don't know what they and how many guys are U.S. based? Okay, so you guys are all Australia.
I'm from
Is
the
that
UK.
right, dude? That's freaking okay. UK,
Yeah.
that's awesome. By the way, that's awesome. How many of you guys on Shark Tank they say pre-revenue? How many of you guys are less? And actually, you don't have to say that. How many of you guys feel like, okay, I'm on here because I want to build something rad. Like I want to build something impressive. Is that the reason you guys came here? Okay.
Should be.
Okay.
Hope so.
It's okay. A few New Zealand based people. Okay. Very cool. And then I just saw Amanda Hearts. I don't know how that happened, but that was rad. But very, very nice. It's funny because I do talk about UpHex a lot, but I also get to talk with a whole bunch of agencies. And like you said, we do win 1 out of 3 SaaSpreneur awards. That's what we won last year. We'll see what we do this year. Hopefully it's that or more. I think that's more of a testament to the model we use, because high level by itself is great. It's fine. It's awesome. But you need leads for it to be really awesome. Okay. And if you can't fill somebody's pipeline, then it's not going to be very good at all. But if, and I don't know, Gary, if you have a certain direction you want to go with this, but since I got my boy Dooley here, if you guys want to know some of the heavy hitting things that I see agencies, like the top tier, the Michael Dooleys of the agency business, what I see all of them doing, if you guys want to kind of chat on that, then I dish whatever I got for you, and then we can check him on it too, or I guess him Dooley on it, and just kind of get his perspective. Yeah, I think the perspective is like, I see a lot of agencies. He's actually doing it. That's why I think it's kind of sweet. But if you don't mind, Gary, if I could just kind of jump into a couple of the things that I see people, like the successful people, doing over and over and over again, then we could go from there.
Yeah, please do.
Okay. So,
Yeah, please do,
and
Sam.
I'll go in chronological. Is my audio good? Am I coming intermittently? Am I right?
Sounding good, man.
Matt, you're
All right.
all good, mate.
So in chronological order, all right, and I'm going to say something, and I want you guys to try and not define what it means when I say it. All right, we're going to develop it, me and Dooley. The number one thing that I see every, can we get that Femme de la Cruz muted, please? The number one thing I see everybody that is crushing it with Apex do is they are very niche specific. Number one, not only are they niche specific, but they are niche knowledgeable. There's a big difference. There's a big difference in picking a niche and staying on the surface because you want to make money. And there's a second layer of that to where you have a specific niche, and I call it a sub niche. But you understand it so well that you could go into their business and run it for a week and make it operate like a freaking hog. Okay. And that is the work that most nobody is willing to do. I think mostly because they don't know they're supposed to do it. Okay. But there's two things. And most people leave it at pick a niche.
Yeah.
You have to pick a niche and then you have to know the niche. Right? You have to know it inside out. Like what's the behavior of their employees? How do they get their sales now? What are their complications? What do they hate about their business? Okay, what do they like about their business? What in their ideal scenario, if they were to get out a pen and paper and say, "Man, I wish my car dealer business was doing," and write it down. These are all things that fall under the umbrella of audience research that most every agency does not do. And if you do that one thing, the rest of your business will unfold in front of you. I love talking about how Upex can do, Facebook ads in 3 clicks, but Dooley was only able to crush it because he already had step 1 taken care of. Dooley, what do you think? How would you riff off of what I just shared there?
Yeah, 100%. I think I spoke about this last week actually, and it's not just picking a niche, but it's understanding deeply what your client's biggest pain point is. And Upex is only able to be successful for you to have as a tool in your arsenal and a part of your solution by you actually deeply understanding what that pain point is and then having a crafted solution for that. Now, I get inboxes all the time from people, "Hey, can you guide me? Can you guide me?" I don't coach agency owners. I'm probably one of the people who jump on podcasts in here, but I've got nothing to sell you. That's me. My biggest advice usually for people starting out is, okay, you want to get in the auto, or you want to get into finance, you want to get into building, you want to help real estate agents, mortgage brokers, whatever. This is what I would do. If that's the way you're really thinking about going and you don't actually have that inside industry experience, find somebody who you really think that you can help from the outside in and who you sort of think you align with within that industry, localize the better, and approach them. And this is probably what I would do if I was swapping niches. I would reach out to them and say, "Hey, do you mind if I actually just sit inside your business for a week or two? And I just want to be there and just see how your business operates. I want to see what you guys are doing on the day to day." And for me, it would be twofold. It would be one, from a point of view of learning, the business as much as I can, but two, also getting an inside understanding on how I may be able to help them. Because if I don't understand what their biggest pain point is, me pushing leads onto them might not be their biggest problem. Having a lead process could be the biggest problem. I know some people here deal with tradies. A lot of the time, tradies don't actually have a lead problem. It's more of a lead process problem if they're a good tradie in a smaller area. Same thing with real estate agents, same thing. So that's what I would be doing is, thinking about who I want to work with. And if I don't completely understand that business and how I can help them and tie it into growing their business, approach them, and it's gonna work really well, because you'll say, "Hey, look, I want to sit in on your business for a week just so I can understand. And in return, how's about I do a couple of months for free for you once I'm up and going and help you guys really scale, as you guys being, as being client beta 1. And on the back of it, after we've grown you, we can, I'll look after you with fees and hand me a testimonial if I've done well and we can get going. Like
Yeah.
that there alone, although it's a slower start because people think I want to start and I want to earn that, the whole thing that these wannabe coaches throw out there, I want to earn $10,000 a month. Well, put that aside, like don't worry about short-term cash grabs. Worry about building a sustainable business. And that business can suit you, whether it's like I'm living the laptop lifestyle. I can tell you now, if I didn't have kids and married and so on, I would probably be living in Bali, just me and the wife on the laptop, no team, and literally running a very lean SaaS model, probably doing a quarter of the revenue that we're doing now, but I'd be way more profitable and working like an hour a day. That's possible. It comes down to what suits you and what you want to get out of it. So, that's probably my biggest advice for people wanting to choose and get started. And UpHex on that side of it is a great tool because when you do understand the pain points and you do really know what your service offering will be, what you can do with UpHex is you can just streamline that and it's replicable and you can not only take the templates and use them, or you can I'm a big fan of making your own because that's your IP and that's what you're figured out that works. And then you can add in the templates and stuff that are already in there as extras on top. It's just a very copy and paste business that you can get going and you're not actually, working on one account for hours and hours and hours a day. It's literally like, hey, look, bang, an hour, we're launched. You guys can go to coaching calls or whatever. Done. Like it's set and forget.
Dude, I'm telling you, the new tagline that we're kind of adopting is create it once, sell it 1,000 times.
Yep.
Right. And if you're Michael Dooley, it should be sell it 2,000 times. Right.
Yeah.
But
It's to scale. I'll tell you. So in agency, so we have and we still have clients as a traditional agency that we've been running for years, areas. And the only that we ever took clients on was because of all the things you guys are talking about. It's like trying to understand the client. But we have clients in completely different industries because they've been with us for years. But we would never take a client on until we did what we called an SAP, a strategic account plan. We would charge clients for that up front. So we would spend pretty much about 40 hours it would take us to do by the time we interviewed the client, went through all their customer avatar, what their pain points were, and then put together a strategic account plan for them. Then we would start working with them. And we would only do that if they paid us up front to do it as well, because we would get clients come to us. And again, this is like niching and everything you guys are talking about is the way to go to scale. But when we weren't doing that, the only way that we could get clients and be successful with them was to understand them, their industry, and their pain points. Because they would come to us and say, "Oh, I need to do SEO," and we're like, "Do you really?" And like, what you actually find out is that, well, they don't really need to do SEO because they've got a problem in their business where they need leads today. They've got cash flow problems. Like they need paid ads. They need leads like today. SEO is a long-term thing. When you figure out all that out, have those conversations with clients, then you build that relationship with them, you understand them. And again, even though we're in and we still serve, that I don't fully understand their models, because we have such a good relationship, built that understanding with the client, they've stayed with us for years. Like these are we've just had for years because we take that time up with them. But to scale and grow, definitely having complete understanding, because you can turn a conversation with a client when they ring you up or book into your calendar. And like Michael, I know that you do this with people all the time when they're talking to you about their issues in their car sales, and you go, "Oh yeah, well what I found was how I dealt with that before was," and you can just completely instantly switch onto it and know exactly what it is, and then they're comfortable with you. This guy gets me. You don't have to go through 40 hours of building a strategic account plan like we did. And you can grow and scale much faster. So I think that is a really valuable thing for people to take away if they're looking to scale and scale fast. And do that with a lower price point model as well, because you can bring more clients on more efficiently.
All right. That's right. I agree with that. So the first thing was pick a niche and understand the niche. The second thing is your offer. Now, how many of you guys heard about offers? How many of you guys think you understand offers, right? Creating offers and all the offer things are the most misunderstood outside of picking a niche. It's the second most misunderstood. Maybe it's the most, they're tied for misunderstood. How about that? Okay. There's no difference between them. They're both incredibly misunderstood. Whenever I see somebody in a Facebook group, whether it's the high-low group or the UpX group, go around saying, number one, either what should I price my SaaS at? That drives me crazy. I hate that. Or number two, or what should I include in my thing? I was doing DBR, this, that, blah, 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 all that kind of crap. If you guys think like that right now, you need to say, boom, that's completely wrong. If I ever do that again, Sam's going to give me a digital slap across the forehead. That is so freaking off. It's not even close to how this works. Remember this phrase. You don't create offers. You discover offers. There's a big nuance there. Harry Brown wrote a book called The Secret to Selling Anything, and he wrote, ask people what they want you to sell them, then sell them that thing. He also said that 95% of sales are lost because the salesman speaks too quickly. What does all this mean? It means, oh, and I'm going to throw one more thing in here too, just to drive the point home, just to drive it the frickin' in the ground, and so you guys will kill offer creation once and for all. 9 out of 10 businesses go out of business in the first 2 years. You guys have heard this stat, yes? Do you know why? If you were to Google that right now, go ahead, open up another tab. I don't care. Why do these businesses go out of business? You will see a phrase. They did a poll, and it will say 47% go out of business for something called no market need. What is no market need? It's the stupid salesman trying to sell something that its audience didn't want to buy in the first place. Entrepreneurs have a problem, friends. Entrepreneurs want to create things that they think are interesting or fun or whatever. They create offers. The market wants you to discover offers, or in other words, the market wants you to go out and look in Reddit groups, look in Facebook groups, look in these different groups and be like, hey, it sucks balls paying Twilio $50 gajillion every single month. I hate that. So Gary goes around and he's like, people really hate this. That's interesting. What is that called? A market gap. It's a gap in the marketplace. So what does he do? He sticks his finger in it and plugs it with a new solution. Now he has a business. That is an offer. Okay? He has replaced the current status quo. And that's what you need. So how do you therefore find offers? It's only 2 steps. You understand what the market is struggling with, what they don't like, and then you assemble, or you don't create, you assemble the solution to resolve that problem. Or in other words, it's when people say it's product market fit, just flip that. It's market product fit. You see the nuance there? Give me a 1 in the chat or give me a raised hand, because some of you are naked with your cameras off, if you get what I'm saying. By the way, I always, if somebody doesn't have the camera on, I always think that they're just naked. So that's, we're all with our clothes on here. We're professionals. Okay. Okay. So that got real weird. It's all like creating offers shouldn't be challenging. Okay. Now, a lot of people misunderstood Alex Hormozi's book about offer creation, $100 million offers. They misunderstood that book. How did they misunderstand that book? They took the literal meaning of that book to create whatever offer they wanted to create and just guarantee the shit out of it. They think that's what you do. Dooley, do you have an ROI guarantee? Do you guarantee anything in your business, really?
Nope.
And
this very simply, and I don't mean to cut you off.
No, go.
Why should, and this is a question that, I always some clients ask us, like, what guarantee are you giving for your service or your product or so on? My simple answer is, why should our revenue be determined on your skill set?
Yep.
How do they respond when
You
you
know,
tell them that? How do you deal with that? Because that's got to be dropped softly on the client as well.
We get to the point where it's like, I'll be honest,
we don't care.
and you know,
Yeah.
look, I know I'm a great
Yeah.
salesperson. Gary, I know myself and my team are great at sales. I haven't had the time to sit in your business and see what your team's like. If I was to send your team 10 leads, if you guys were to get 10 opportunities, the dealership across the road get 10 opportunities, and the one down the street to get another 10 opportunities, you're all going to sell a different amount. So my question to you is, why should our success be determined on your skill set?
Yeah.
And that's why we
Clients
don't
don't
have a
like to
guarantee
hear.
on anything.
Yeah. Clients don't like to hear that, do they? Or potential leads.
You-
And I think there's something you posted the other day actually. What was your caption? You put something. You said there are 7 billion people on Facebook, and you're telling me that Facebook ads didn't work for your business. And I was like, that's just so
Yeah.
right, because people say that all the time, right? You know, we have people come and they go, oh, I've tried
Can,
Facebook ads and didn't work, and you go,
can,
it's
let
like
me,
the
could I
biggest
address
marketing
that real
platform there is.
quick? Could I address
Yeah.
that real quick? Because I think sometimes those people are right. All right. So maybe, and I know how long are we on time? Do we have a Q&A on this, by the way?
We'll run into a Q&A, and because we've got a little boutique group here, because it's not going live into the group, it will go in there later. So yeah, we'll jump to a Q&A, because I know as well. And sorry, I should have mentioned this at the start. Sam is delaying a dinner with his wife because he's on
Oh,
holiday at the moment to come and do this. So
don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. I just want
well,
to make sure that if we're
I'm
going to
worried
do a
about Mrs.
Q&A, because
Carlson like coming and chasing us now.
yeah, she is a devil. Just watch out.
Yeah.
No, she's very sweet. She would never say anything mean to anybody. No, I have a Dooley knows I have a chance to go, and when I start going, it's hard to stop me. So we're just gonna go. I want to talk to people saying I don't get outcomes from my leads, and we all kind of default to well, you got to call your leads, and that definitely is a huge part of this. How many of you guys do lead gen? How many of you guys do lead gen, like Facebook ads, Google ads? Okay, one. How many of you guys want to do lead gen? Nobody. Okay, one. We got one shaka. We got one shaka. Okay, we got a couple of claps. The nude people are interested. Well, let me just give you guys a couple of like value bombs if I could. Okay, the first one is from I started doing ads in 2015. And my agency had a published case study in late 2018, 2019, something like that, right? And we were really concerned. I shouldn't say our strategy before that was get cheap leads. Like it was a vanity thing, really. Cheap leads are vanity metrics, right? And it's like, hey, the cheaper we can get the leads, the better we are. And when we got that case study, we were running 3 different types of campaigns. We were running a generalized chiropractic campaign, an acupuncture campaign, but general services. And then the third was a spinal decompression, niche specific disc and like low back issues. Okay. Now, when you have a published case study, like in Ads Manager, you're not going to know what makes the ROI. You don't know. Like they're not going to tell you that. But Facebook actually has attribution data. Okay. And so they actually sat down with us and said, here were all your leads. And this, like they published all of our lead forms and all that kind of stuff on the case. So it was very cool. But they're like, hey, you did this many leads. And then Jacob, he's my partner, and I were looking at it. We're like, dude, all of the cheap leads made none of the ROI. All of the expensive leads made all of the ROI. What is up with this? And that's where I really like doubled down on this thing I call the qualified lead formula. And that's what I want to teach you guys now. If you're doing leads, this is your move. Okay. You want to get down to specific niches, right? And I've already said that. But the reason that the general campaigns got cheap leads was because they're easy to click. They're easy to, like, the offers are pretty, I don't know, cheesy, like get a free, whatever, you're going to get leads. But the other one was if you have spinal decompression, or I'm sorry, if you have disc sciatica or herniated disc or something like that, we're offering 2 sessions of spinal decompression. Who would want spinal decompression if they did not have those things? The offer was written in such a specific way that, yeah, by its very nature, the pocket of people was smaller. So the cost went up, but the quality of the person coming in was way higher. Those people were what we call qualified, because I don't like the word quality. It doesn't, for me, it's like these are cold leads. There's no such thing as quality. Quality is a referral. There's a spectrum of qualified. And the more niche we go down, so if I go from general chiropractic to sciatica pain to now sciatica and disc pain with a spinal decompression session, now that's a way more specific ad. Okay? Most of the agencies are running vanity campaigns to where they're trying to get the cheapest leads possible. These are your year 1 to 3, 4-year-old agencies. They're going for the cheap leads and they're talking to the marketplace like, I get the cheapest leads. That should be your number 1 selling proposition is I get the most expensive leads. Track with that. I get the most expensive leads. Well, that's not a good thing. Are you? I'm sorry. I just want to get the most qualified people. Everybody that goes into my competitors' funnels, they're just looky-loos, tire kickers. They're not interested in doing business with you. I'm interested in getting you more sales. Do you want more leads or more sales? Because that's our business. We get people more sales. Oh yeah, that makes sense. And then you make them an evangelist for you. By the way, the better story wins. What's the better story? Cheap leads or qualified leads? Always qualified leads. That's the better story. Right? And so for me, once I get a qualified campaign, I don't touch that thing. I can run, I ran that I have run a campaign. Dooley, what's your record, by the way? I run a campaign in one location for 4 years. How long, what's your record?
Yeah, it's about that. I've still got it going. Yeah.
Okay, Dooley wins. You guys, Dooley's always got to one up me.
No.
You know?
The
point is, you write an ad, it'll go.
Yeah.
It'll go. It just goes.
Yeah.
If you write ads that are directed at a categorical level, it's just at the surface, it'll be a problem child for the rest of your life. Right? So create it once, sell it 1,000 times. That's the deal. Right? So when I go back to addressing, yeah, Facebook ads didn't talk to me. Okay, so number 1 is make sure that you have qualified leads, which for me, my formula was a 2% click-through rate all, a 1% click-through rate, and a 10 to 20% conversion rate on the funnel. Should I say that again? Are you guys good? Good? Okay. 2, 1, 10.
Say that again, Sam, if that's okay.
A 2% click-through rate all. That tells me my visual, my creative is good. A 1% link click-through rate. That means my call to action made the offer clear. They clicked on it. And a 10 to 20% conversion rate. That means that my offer was desirable to the right person. Much above 20%. Now this is niche dependent. So this is not like, oh, there's no variation from this. Like your niche will inform this formula. But I found that when we went over 20%, we started getting our offer was too good. We were giving away too much. We were discounting whatever it was. Our positioning wasn't value facing. We were kind of, on the other side. So I wanted to keep it between 10 to 20%. Okay. Again, people think I'm crazy for trying to reduce my my conversion rate. And by the way, there's no such thing as ad fatigue. Who said that?
So if I could sum up those 2 things that you've given us there, basically, as the nuggets for everyone, is that like pick your niche, but not only pick it, understand your niche. And Michael, you gave some good information on that, right? So understand your niche, not only just picking it, and then ads that solve problems to get qualified leads, not cheap leads. If I could wrap those 2 things up into a bubble, would that kind of cover it? And there's a lot to unpack in those things anyway. And when you go back into it, and then people go into back into their own niches. But those are the 2 real key takeaways, I think, there from those parts.
Yeah, and Matt Jones and Dooley are having a conversation here in the chat, and he's totally right.
Yeah.
Like you can hear these things about ad fatigue, about ads like going and dying and all that kind of stuff. There is such a reason, or there is such a thing as algorithm fatigue. That does happen, but not ad fatigue. Ad fatigue is probably the last thing to happen with a functional, controlled marketing campaign, right? So Dooley's saying daily budget from there is $100 a day. Dooley, you want to opine? That's fancy language for talk more about what you're talking about over here.
Yeah, so just that one off the top of my head that that we're talking about that's been running for quite a while. It's somewhere around 4 years, maybe even be longer. I'd have to check, but daily budget, $100 a day for that ad, and the cost per lead has only changed by a couple of dollars a day, a couple of dollars per lead. Like it hasn't changed at all.
Over 4 years.
Yeah.
And ad costs are going up all the time anyway, like inflation.
Yeah,
So
and I'll let everybody know that particular targeting is not national, state, it's local. It's a local audience, so it's not a big audience.
These are all things that people tell you is full of crap, though. Like most people would say he's lying. I know he's telling the truth. Absolutely possible. Go ahead. What was your question, Matt?
I'm just curious with that. Like, obviously, those ads get seen in a local market a lot, right?
Yeah.
So, and it's the same creative just running for over 4 years, and it's still generating results. Like,
yeah,
that blows my mind. I feel like our ads run for 3 days and they're burned out.
Yeah. So the big thing with that is I'd probably say that within that ad, there's no hardcore offer in that ad. The one that I'm thinking of, there's no like redeem this offer by clicking here.
So it's more awareness.
It's an awareness, but with lead generation. Like it's a lead gen, but it's more of like a business awareness or service awareness style ad. And the big one there is obviously it's a really nice creative. I won't go into it, but it really grabs your attention. And as I said, there's no real hardcore offer on it. Sequence, there's about 7 questions in a lead form with a back-end disqualification and then a redirect to a request callback funnel on the button. Yeah, and then there's a bit of automation on the back end, but simple. It scales pretty hard. Like if we wanted to turn that one up, we could. Audience size, well, I wouldn't know the exact audience size because I don't have it here, but that ad is running in a town. Well, it's running in Canberra, so it's not it's not like Sydney, Melbourne, or anything, or Brisbane. It's a smaller, and it's not all of Canberra either. So yeah.
So I'd say a couple of things here, Matt. So number one, when you write an ad the right way, it can go for a long time. Number two, if you do get what's called algorithm fatigue, which most people chalk up when most people, when they get a campaign that's performing and then it starts to dip off, they're like, oh, I'm going to change the visual. I'm going to change this. I'm going to change the copy. I'm going to change something on the ad. It's like the worst thing to do. That's kind of a bit of a shocker, I'm guessing, to some of you. What should you do? You slap the algorithm in the ass and you say, get back to work. Okay, how do you do that? You can take the radius out by 1 mile. That'll put it back into learning. All of a sudden, it's a fresh new campaign. You can change the age targeting radius by 1 year. All of a sudden, you got a fresh new campaign. You had a moment like if you think of the audience, the targeting, and the algorithm, if the algorithm runs into a point where it's not getting the same juice as it was in another location in that audience, it will slow down. Now, if you give it time, it will pick back up. But if you don't have the patience, reset the learning. In UpX, we have a button. You click the button. It's actually like a refresh button. You click it, and it does that automatically without you going into Ads Manager. If it's a campaign that's targeting by a 9 mile radius, click it, it'll go to 10. And then boom, that campaign will start learning again. Right? So it's not ad fatigue. here's the reason why changing this again. This is why I have the 2-1-10-20 rule. If my creative is performing and it's been tested out pretty well, and then I change it because in one location that wasn't working, that is the last thing you want to do. That's like changing, what happens if you change E equals MC squared to E equals PC cubed? Doesn't work anymore. I don't know what that would be. I sounded super fancy for a minute there, didn't I, Dooley? Like a physicist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One thing I will say with those ads that, I know over time that we're falling into it as well, but I see a lot of time that people are very quick to turn off an ad or turn off a campaign and then to pivot really quickly. The market goes in fluctuations. It's got nothing a lot of the time really to do with, the lead, like you guys doing the lead gen and the marketing. It's actually to do with what might be happening local or within that industry. So what I will say is, don't be so hasty to turn off a campaign that has worked previously and is going through a low patch. Keep it going. Obviously, you can do a reset like budgeting and a reset with targeting in terms of age and radius and so on, just to push it back into learning. But also kick off another smaller campaign as well and test it against, your proven one and just see what actually happens on that side of it. We're starting to get it probably in a little bit more strategy there, which I don't think Gary really wanted to, but I'd be doing that. I'd be slowing down, like not turning something off and just adding more onto it first.
Agreed.
Yeah, that's a
Totally
good
agree.
point. We'll start to run into questions, guys, if that's all right, because we've got sort of 10 minutes or so left here. Kristen was just asking me, Michael, do you run your Canberra ads broad or do you actually suggest audience parameters? I know, Sam, you have a lot to say on targeting of ads.
Yes, I do.
Yes, you do.
I have my theory, and it's less is more. But Sam,
Oh, I'm 100%. Like, keep it broad. The algorithm of 2024 is so different than the algorithm of 2015. When I started running ads, it was all about duplicating ad sets, surfing ad sets, stacking behaviors and interests and doing all of this fancy stuff. Lookalike audiences, custom audiences. Dude, it could not be easier today. Why? If you write your ads really well, the words that are in it is going to tell the algorithm who they should show it to. It really is age, gender, location. That's it.
So
Don't
I'll ask you a question
overcomplicate it.
a question on that with the targeting, and then if you've launched an ad, when do you know that an ad isn't working? So we've talked about, when they are working, you don't have ad fatigue, put them back into learning. But what's your tips for, you've launched an ad and now you're kind of going, oh, I don't think this is working. How much time do you recommend to give it to figure out whether you have actually got a dud?
It's not a function of time. Okay. It's a function of CPMs. Okay. With Facebook, you buy ads in batches of what's called CPMs. That means 1,000 eyeballs. Okay. And so every time you get delivered 1,000 eyeballs, you have data, you have metrics. Now, until you buy, I'll say 4,000. I used to say 3,000, but sometimes that's just not enough. Until you buy 4,000 impressions, it's not enough, because you can get to 1,500 impressions and the next 1,000 impressions will be completely different. And so if you're spending $5 a day, it's going to take you a long time to get there. But if you spend $100 a day, like Dooley, you're going to get there in a day. You get instant feedback, right? And so it's a function of CPMs. And then it's just going down that daisy chain that I just told you. So if you get 4,000 CPMs, if your click-through rate all, that's the first one. Why is that the first one? That's what stops traffic. Click-through rate all. Do you guys know what click-through rate all is, by the way? It's all of the clicks, including the link click, but it's like expanding it, messing around with the ad, whatever it is. It's like engagement with the ad. If they're engaging with the ad, that means they stopped on the ad. So that's click-through rate all. So if you hit a 2% click-through rate, that means that your visual aspect of your ad is good. Then the next one is link click-through rate. Let's say you hit a 0.5% link click-through rate. Oh, stop. We got to fix this one thing. We got to fix this one thing. What is it? Your call to action, like your offer, like whatever it is that you're offering to them from that ad, it's either not congruent, not clear, or not desirable. It's not congruent, which means like your visual stopped traffic thinking it might talk about one thing, and then it showed them it told them something completely different. It's not clear. You have it jumbled up. You don't have like people don't read Facebook ads; they scan them, so you can't like find the offer and like go, oh, there it is. Okay. And what was my last one? I said clear, congruent, and what was the other one? Was anybody paying attention, or was it just me? Whatever. So the call to action wasn't good. You fixed desirable, meaning you offered them something that was you offered them a consultation. Most times a consultation is bullshit. Like people don't want to get a consultation, right? So that's not a good offer. And then, so after the link click-through rate, then it's conversion, 10 to 20%. And most of the time conversion, the key to conversion is the offer that you made them, did you keep it clear on the landing pages or on the lead forms? Because the big thing is you just remove clarity or you change something about the offer or you just mess that up. I can almost always, if somebody has like a terrible conversion rate, I can go to whether it's their lead form or their thing, be like, dude, you have a block of copy. Nobody's going to read that. Nobody's going to read that. You know, Apex, we pulled data from 2023. You want to know what the ideal copy length is for an ad? There was a huge fall off on each side of this range, by the way. 70 to 100 words. You write less than 70, it tanks. You write more than 100, it tanks. We did the same thing for the lead form. You want to know what the ideal word count for a lead form is? 40 words. There's no range on that one. It's like 40 words. Keep it right there, which is kind of weird. But by the way, I have a video or I have a free course that teaches all this stuff called Lead Gen U.
We'll pop some links. We'll make sure that the links for that, the Facebook group, all these things are with this video. So wherever you're watching this video later on YouTube, Facebook group, there'll be a link around somewhere there. So any other questions or any other questions in the chat here, or we'll open up for questions for the last few minutes. Anyone want to pop their hand up, ask a question? Take advantage. Sam was.
We're gonna start calling on people.
I have so many questions. I don't even know where to start.
Go, George.
George.
I think that's Matt. George has got his hand up. So Matt, we'll go with you, and then we'll come back to you, George.
I don't even know how to put my hand up.
You see, I saw George obey the rules and put his hand up, and then I thought that was him. So go ahead, whoever's talking.
Well, George.
I was just putting my pants back on. In the camera. Hey, just a strategy question. With Apex, and by the way, I'm a client. Love what you guys do. We're currently using it to launch ads fast, and then we go back to tweak via the business manager. Now, Sam, you were saying you don't go back to the business manager at all. I'm just curious on what's your strategy beyond that. Like once you've launched ads, like because we go prune back ads that don't work, and we go add like new creatives and so forth. What is your strategy from that point after you've launched ads?
So I don't much believe in micro optimization. Okay. When Dooley was talking about running an ad for 4 years in one location without changing anything. So in UpX, you have UpX, yes?
Yeah.
Okay. So in UpX, you go to template metrics. That feature, that metric exists nowhere else on the internet. We invented that feature. Why? Because Dooley has, how many locations do you have running that ad, do you think? Just a ballpark.
If a single ad at any one time, you might have 60 to 200 people running a particular ad, like without
Okay.
the same ad. Yeah.
The same ad. So we'll take 60 locations, and we push all of the performance metrics back to the template itself. So 60 locations in a given month. That's, I mean, I'm guessing probably $120,000 ish in ads in a month, something like that. So what Dooley or whoever's managing, like whoever's building that business, remember, build it once, sell it 1,000 times. Keep things simple. What I would do and what our strategy is I don't look at the individual location. I look at my template metrics and I'm looking at, oh, it looks like this ad across all of these locations, this visual doesn't get a good click-through rate. Take that out, put in a new one. And iterating that over time, dude, you become bulletproof, number one. And number two, oh, it's just so much more simple. And whenever I tell this to a person who's like been managing ads for a long time, in fact, that some lady was having a conversation with me how she thinks I'm wrong on Messenger. I'm like, I think I have a little bit more, like thousands of people running it. I can see what I'm doing, right? This way works better. And it's more congruent to what Facebook is trying to do in the first place, which is what? Elevate the best quality ads. Elevate the best quality ads. So when you go into a location, let's say you have 60 clients like Dooley was talking about, and you're running the same campaigns, but you did a manual in Facebook, right? And you have a media buyer going into those ad accounts day in and day out and looking at the tree, not the forest, looking at the tree. And they are making micro optimizations. Oh, I'm going to change the headline. You just changed the formula. You just changed the formula.
With
Go
that,
ahead, Dooley.
we obviously have two different levels of offering, and I don't know, like there's obviously going to be, probably both here in this group. So we've obviously got the SaaS, and then we've got the done for you. We use UpX for both. Okay. Now, because of the functionality, there are some types of ads that we can't run currently through UpX, which are AIA ads, which Sam knows, which are inventory style feed ads.
Yeah.
One day he'll get that sorted for just for me and no one else. But so we run two styles within our business. Now, obviously, the SaaS is our volume. So, and we're very clear on who falls into what. So, SaaS is literally, if you're an individual selling professional, you're SaaS. There's no way you can be done for you because you can't afford it, what we charge. Business can be SaaS as well, but they're a high ticket because there's multiple users and so on. Then we've got the done for you, which is only business. Now, with that, one, we do charge pretty well for our done for you. We don't undercharge. There's a premium for that. In terms of us managing campaigns, we only look at the done for you. We have a look at the end of each month at the template metrics for the SaaS, so we can better guide on that side of it and put different creatives and so on in. When we're really looking at metrics, we're only looking at our done for you clients. But with the SaaS, and this is a whole thing around not just UpX, but around your solution for high level is education. So you holding trainings and educating your clients on what they should be looking at within their dashboard for them to run their campaigns better using your proven IP.
Gotcha.
So that's how we are able to, to manage hundreds and hundreds of clients on a SaaS point of view, which, I can tell you now, we don't charge 97 a month, which some people do. Like we're still more than that. But that's how we're able to, okay, here's your group call, everybody get in here. Here's how we're going to, I'm showing you what you need to look at and what you need to tweak. What do these metrics mean? So if you want to take your stuff to the next level, this is what you have to do. If you need help, book a call with your account manager. Otherwise, we're only looking after our done for you. So we sort of look at it from two levels, and we use UpX for both.
Gotcha. Cool.
Perfect. How are we going for time? Have we got any more questions? I'm cautious of Miss Carlson coming in from the side there, grabbing you, Sam. So you're going out for dinner. Have you got time to hang around if we've got any more questions, mate?
Yeah, I'm good.
Any other questions? Anyone pop their hand up? I know,
I've
Matt,
got
you had some questions and we...
Yeah, I do. So we're running what I consider at the moment to be quite a fractured style of lead gen, right? Like Sam, we've been a client of yours for ages. We're not using it properly, so we need to get onto that, like for our clients and certainly and even our own campaigns. But like we're sort of doing the big Hormozy style, just noise, Like I feel like everyone is just doing the same shit now. It's like selling the farm, giving the farm away.
Yeah.
And so like I was looking to really shake that up. Yeah, we do like turn ads on and turn ads off because like our cost per lead is just insane. And I'm convinced it's because of the shitty style of ads we're running. It's just like at one point it was great. Now like literally we'll publish new ads within a week. They're like competitors have copied them word for word and published them. And I was like, what's the point? Like it's just ridiculous. So I'm pretty jaded at the moment with the whole Facebook lead gen side of things based on the style that we're currently doing. And like I did resonate with what you were saying before about the style of the offer, like making it super specific. I was just trying to figure out how you can not be part of the noise. We're spending thousands and thousands of dollars a week on Facebook ads and our return on it's garbage.
You talking B2C, like campaigns for your customers or campaigns for yourself?
Well, campaigns for customers are okay. Like our clients are B2C, but we're B2B because we're dealing directly with businesses. But yeah,
what I'm asking is, are you saying that the ads that you run for your customers, that you feel like those are being lost in the noise, or are you saying when you run ads for your agency to get customers, you feel like those are noisy?
Yeah, they're noisy. Yeah, for the agency.
Those are noisy. Yeah. Okay, that's easy. That's easy. You guys ready for it?
Yeah.
What's the thing that sells the thing? Sell the thing that sells the thing. Stop selling the thing. You're trying to sell your thing. That's the problem. You got to sell the thing that sells the thing. Julie talked about it. I will. I'm just letting that sink in for just a second. I'm just letting that sink in. I don't want that to go, like, remember that for forever. You need to always remember, sell the thing that sells the thing. Anytime you're trying to sell your agency services or whatever, that's selling the thing. You can't sell that. You got to sell the thing that sells the thing. So what does that mean?
Like we're pretty, we're not bad with, well, maybe we are like selling the thing that sells the thing. Like we are pretty specific on the outcomes, but it's just tied up in that whole.
You're still selling the thing. So for example, I have a webinar I do for UpX. How many of you see my webinar that I do for UpX? Julie has, a couple have. Okay. Well, does anybody remember what the ad, like what the hook of the webinar is? Anybody remember? I'll give you 50 digital stars if you know this. Christine looks like she might know. Okay, I'm going to tell you because I don't want to. We got
something about ads with 3 clicks.
Nope, that's selling the thing. Okay. Now that's a selling proposition. So I do have ads that say that. When I sell to the masses, you know what I say? I say the irresistible offer that landed me 53 agency customers in a single webinar, and how you can rip it off in an hour. I'm not selling UpX in that webinar. Okay, I'm selling a case study. I'm selling an offer, and in the offer itself, I go through. I said, dude, you guys, I used to be like you and sell and get all this crappy stuff, and then I built this business, and this is the outcome I have, and here's the offer I have. And by the way, it just happened to be it's curated by using UpX, right? So I don't sell UpX by selling UpX. If you go and look at my ads, and Dooley, I'm going to make an ad. We need to do a revised case study, me and you, and I will do a lead generation campaign with Dooley as the outcome. I have one going right now for Derek Justin, and the title of the ad, if you go and you see my ad library, 87 clients, I forget, it's in 3 months or something. I got 87 clients in 3 months. That's what his results were. So I am giving away a case study, including all the steps put down on a PDF and a video and an article and all this stuff. I give all that away, like a mini course, if you will. I'm like, this is how Derek Justin did it. I don't talk about UpX. And then in follow-up email, I say, hey, by the way, get a trial. You want to know what my ROI on that campaign is? My nerd just told me today. 700%. 700% ROI on that campaign. Because why? Because I sell the thing that sells the thing. Now, how many of you guys are new and you're like, I don't have case studies that I can publish? Nobody ever wants to raise their hand. It's okay. I understand. What can you publish instead? One, you could publish somebody else's case study. Okay. Two, you could publish research. In 2024, here's what car dealers around the country are doing to get blah, 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 blah. Like, I don't know what good results are, Dooley. I don't know your promise, whatever, right? To get these results. Yeah. So it's specific to a year. It's research that I've curated. Curated information is valuable to people. Relevant, curated information. Offer that. That's like touch number one. Like if I was going back on a date with my wife and I'm like, hey, it's our first day. I'm like, hey, you're so hot. Can we get married now, please? I don't know. Ladies in the room, would that work? They're all smiling. No, they're saying no, wouldn't work. That's what y'all do with your ads. And then you guarantee the shit out of them. You basically put yourself like, you're like the dude on the corner flashing everybody, right? And if you're worried about making market noise, you got to make market music. And you do that by leading with value. You just have to quantify in your own mind what is value. So for example, Matt, what niche are you in?
We work with trades specifically, and have done for 13 years.
Okay. So do you have one customer that got an outsized result that you could talk about?
We have loads, truthfully. Like we have.
That's your value bombs, bro.
Yeah, and that's what we do. We run ads for that, but it's still they're just they're not hitting.
Well, how can people copy it? You say people are copying your ads. They can't copy your ads. Those are your results.
Yeah, but I guess the whole concept around like learn how so and so can. I'm going to show you how so and so did. Booked 80 appointments in the first 2 months.
You need to change that to how I got.
Yeah.
How I got Michael Dooley. How I increased Michael Dooley's auto dealership by 200% in 6 months, and how you can see the exact strategy on the next page by this video. See the difference? How I got.
Yeah. Anyway, we're doing. There's something we're missing because we're doing that and we're just not getting the result. So I don't know.
Well, shoot me a Loom video. Show me what you're doing. DM. Shoot me a Loom video. Show me what the creative is that you're doing.
Yeah,
show me what the language is. We'll tune that thing up super quick, bro.
Because I want to go. We always want to go all in on the UpX side of things at the moment because like our model at the moment is so heavily and like it's so staff heavy. Like we got some great team members, but we got way too many of them, and we want to just trim the shit out of it. And like the whole account management sort of model, like it's like we need an account manager, don't get me wrong, but like we could be doing it a lot smarter using UpX better, and we're not.
Yeah, shoot me what you're doing. I mean, selling the thing that sells the thing will always work.
Yeah.
So what's up, Amanda?
Hi, I'm the other half of this same agency. So hello.
You're Amanda Jones.
Yeah, the other Jones. Yeah, I'm
team member that you're going to keep, Matt. Right? You weren't talking about trimming Amanda.
If you could fire me, that'd be the dream.
The other way around.
I guess based on your insights and like obviously UpX is like heavily focused on like static ads because that's the easiest thing to like templatize. Static ads versus video. Like, do you guys have a lot of like analytics on that sort of thing? Like obviously video seems to convert better, but is that a myth?
So with us, and as I said, like we have a couple of different ways that we use UpX, obviously, different levels. Our users know that if there's the copy there and everything's set up, but there's no creative within our training, that is for them to upload their own creative into that, and we show them what type of creative they should put in. So I know that there's, off the top of my head, there's one proven ad there that smashes it all around the world. Doesn't matter who it is. We have no creative there, but the trainings and everything around it that we do with our user base is you need to do a selfie style video in front of the dealership or in front of your business, introducing yourself, who you are, what you do, and it would be perfect if you can do it at time of handover and a quick interview with one of your clients whilst you're giving them the keys to their new car. 30 seconds, take that there, nice and clear, and then upload that as the video for this particular ad. The other option is if they're not comfortable with the video, they take a selfie style photo in front of the dealership with them, thumbs up in front of the dealership, branding behind them, who they are, what they do, and then upload that. So that's sort of how we have addressed it to make it individualized for certain campaigns. And within the dashboard, we've written out the copy, we've done the back end stuff, obviously all that needs to take place. And there's one there that grabs my mind that is probably one of our really proven ads that we get people to run straight away. And it's actually one that we get the onboarding team to say, hey, look, have you got a video or photo like this here that would suit? Cool. Done our onboarding. Let's turn that one on while we're here on the onboarding. And that's awesome. That's how we run that one.
Yeah, to answer the question, we run a lot of static ads. Our users do use a lot of video ads, and I think it's depending on the niche. You do kind of need to back up a little bit and think, what is the job of the ad? To earn the right click, right? It's to earn the right click. And there are niches where video is going to be really, really good. I can think, like, for example, kitchen and bathroom model, right? If I was doing ads for kitchen and bathroom model, I would probably adopt Dooley's strategy. Okay, I would probably do something along those lines. But I did a lot of chiropractic stuff. Here's the problem with chiropractors: they all want to talk about themselves, and I don't care about the customer or about the client. I care about the customer, and so I show like customer outcomes, right? So your ads generally lean in one of two ways: the pain or the outcome, right? You lean towards the pain. So chiropractic, we lean into the pain because that's what really grabs people. Outcome, if I was doing med spas or something like that, I'm going to the before and after kind of thing, or like the whatever, beautiful pictures of people, whatever. But there are some things where a demonstration will sell better than anything else, right? And so if you have something that demos really well, bro, use the crap out of it, right? I ran an ad for years for a device called Softwave shockwave therapy, and it was audible. And so you would put it on the person's knee or their back or something, and they'd come in with pain. And the formula was you hear the thing trigger, but whack, whack, whack. So it makes like an interesting sound, right? And actually, we would use this. We called it a hypnotic hook. If there's something like, oh, I haven't heard that or I haven't seen that before, that's a hook that is hypnotic, right? So anything in that arena will grab attention. The reason I liked the video on that is because people's reactions after it happened, they'd be like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. Like, so that outcome, I mean, a picture says 1,000 words, a video says 10,000. If it's the right video. If they're terrible on video, and there's also different kind of videos like moving picture. I don't know. Do you know that style, moving picture videos? Like that's also really compelling. And you can do that with AI. Like we're doing that a lot more at UpX now, where you basically tell AI, show me the picture of a bathroom remodel job as you're moving through the bathroom. And it kind of like moves. Like That's compelling, right? So I didn't answer your question entirely, but in a way I answered your question. At the end of the day, I want qualified clicks, and I want them in the most simple, easy way possible because I want to use them over and over and over again. But there are nuances. There are niches where I'm going to have to adapt my my strategy some, but still make it to where it's an assembly line, right? Nothing custom. You'll notice Dooley tells them exactly what picture. Do this, do that, nothing else. That's the move. Like if you're going to have UGC from them, whatever, it needs to be a very specific composition. Good question.
Very good. And you've got in your ad library, how many templatized? I don't know if that isn't actually a word, is it? But we'll go with it.
It is.
Because Amanda said it. How many templatized niches? I say niches. You keep saying niche. Niches have you got in the Outpegs library now? Because it's a lot.
Gary, let me ask you this, Gary. Is it the riches are in the niches? The riches are in the niches. It's gotta say riches are in the niches, right? Come on. We have over 1,000 templates that you guys. Yeah, we've got over 1,000 templates that you guys can like download and use in whatever niche you're in, right? To Dooley's point, he's taken the time to refine and hone those things, so we don't do that. But we build our ads based on. I mean, our ads, we have what we call predictable performance on them. We can actually predict the performance of a campaign before we ever launch it because of all the data we have from all the past campaigns we've run. We know what the headlines need to say. We know what the body needs to say. We know all that stuff. But the idea is to take that and turn it into your own IP, the same way Dooley did. Dooley's ads are not in the UpX library, right? They're his. So I encourage everyone to have their own library. Now, I will help you get 98% of the way. And I will say most of our agencies are lazy and they just use them out of the box. That's not because it's Sam telling them to use them out of the box. People never listen to me. I'm like, hey, don't do that. They do it anyway, you know? But there's over 1,000 templates in there. And we add stuff every week. So on Thursdays, we publish new templates. And if you guys are like, hey, I want something for puppy, you know, walking, whatever, you put it in there, and that's what we make the following week.
Yeah, you've also got a pretty cool AI ad builder as well. It writes all the copy, all the things that save you having to go to Facebook ads, which
that's right.
Yeah,
that's right.
All right. Any other questions for Sam or Michael over here? All right. Well, I hope that everybody got some good takeaways from there. Like, get into your niche, understand your niche, qualify them. Qualified leads, not cheapest leads. And I think if we take those two things away from there as well, and also sell, I've written that down here too, Sam, anyway. I through sell the thing that sells the thing. That is a good thing. Because you know, we're all busy in our agencies and we have a million other things to do as well. And like coming back and refreshing some of this stuff, like it's like, oh yeah, I remember that now. Because we forget, right? We get busy and we forget because we're all doing different stuff. But yeah, I think that's another good tagline to stick in the box. Sell the thing that sells the thing. If we can do that, we'll do well. Thank you so much for your time today, Sam. Do you want to tell everyone where they can find you? Because Quan, who I definitely know is gone now, he was asking where he could find you. I put the link to UpHex in the chat here. We will put that with this
just
video.
UpHex,
where can everybody find you, Sam?
uphex.com. If you want to hang out with me, I am in the UpHex community every single day. I'm pretty active in there. And we teach daily classes, so I teach those on what is today? Tuesday.
Wednesday for us.
I teach on Tuesday. I was gonna say it's Tuesday. I teach on Tuesday and Fridays. So, but yeah, go check it out.
And Michael, thank you for coming in, mate. Really appreciate it. It's really good to have a insight from someone that's using the system, built a pretty huge agency, still going. Thanks so much for your time. If people want to find Michael, I know we've got mostly Aussies, I think, in here now.
Jump on the weekly Zoom call
Yeah.
that we have Wednesdays, 1 p.m. Jump on that. I've got that usually blacked out on my calendar, so I'm usually on that as well.
You teaching, Dooley?
No, man. No. Not yet. Not until.
You're not teaching? You hanging out?
Yeah, just hanging out, answering questions. 1 p.m. Wednesday. There's a few of us that jump on there.
I'm looking for somebody to take over my Tuesday slot, Dooley.
What time? Tuesday your time, Tuesday my time.
Tuesday my time, and I do it at when do I do it? 10 a.m. But I would change it for you, baby. I'd change anything for you.
We'll talk.
I don't want to put you out. You're the real deal. Thanks, Dooley. Appreciate you, buddy.
Well, for now, you can get Michael FOC value bombs in the JHL.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
So yeah, we'll put the link for that as well. But join the JHL Australian Mastermind group if you haven't already, guys. Come and join in there. We'll see you at 1 p.m. 1 p.m. today. We get to hang out.
So
All
are
right.
you showing Kiwis in that group as well?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I heard you talking about that big ram that the business was around the back. So we'll be a good in there, right?
Who's this? I'm gonna let Mitchell, who's just joined, but oh no, Mitchell's gone. I was gonna let Mitchell in and go. Sorry, we're just finished, but all right, guys. Look, thank you very much. I hope everybody took a whole bunch away from that. Thanks again for your time, Sam. Say thank you to Miss Carlson. We appreciate you taking the time out of your holiday, mate. Enjoy your dinner.
They say thank you, babe. All right. See you guys.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys. Thanks.